Buddy Young's day captured in Bill Stern's call. In 1969, it was Kurt Gowdy and O.J.
Soggy pitching to Simpson. 25, 30. Look out. He runs 109.4. They won't get him. He's being convoyed in. 80 yards for O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson, one of the many brilliant collegiate stars to rock the 100,000 plus in the Arroyo. 7 years later, the cheers were for UCLA's Shara Henry and Wendell Tyler.
Off to Tyler. 45, 40. Tyler's outside. He's at the 20. He's cutting back. He's in there.
Reverberating since 1902, the Rose Bowl signaling the climax of a football season and the celebration of a new sports year. It awakens again today for Illinois and UCLA. NBC Sports presents the 1984 Rose Bowl preview. The UCLA Bruins have kickoff to open this 70th Rose Bowl game. Because of the length of the Fiesta Bowl, of course, you just don't hold up the Tigers that are ready to roar. Illinois and UCLA here in Pasadena, 84 degrees. This is the warmest day ever recorded on January 2nd in history in Southern California. No wind. It's a magnificent setting for this 70th edition of the Rose Bowl. Illinois starts from its 20-yard line. Jack Trudeau to Thomas Rooks of St. Louis, Missouri, and Rooks a couple of yards, the leading rusher for the Illini this year with 842 yards. We'll have the lineups for you in just a moment. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Illini in their deep blue jerseys, orange pants. UCLA in the white jerseys, gold helmets, and blue trim. Trudeau, a sophomore from Livermore, California, following the tradition set by Dave Wilson and Tony Eason, two great quarterbacks. Dwight Beverly, the All-Big Ten halfback, has an Illinois first down at the 32-yard line. Chris Block and Don Rogers made the tackle. 10 yards on the play.
First down, a 10-yard pickup.
Illinois with Jack Trudeau at quarterback. His running backs, Beverly, All-Big Ten, as we said, and Rooks, the leading rusher. Split end, David Williams. He caught 59. Benson on the other side. Brewster also with 59 catches, the tight end. First down play. Going long to Williams. Rogers intercepts for UCLA. The third play of the game, the All-American comes through.
You feel it already, Dick. Williams getting downfield, but you've got to neutralize those great defensive backs. All-American Don Rogers goes up and takes it away from Williams. And UCLA has the first big turnover. Turnovers, always a big story in a game like this, Dick, as well as the kicking game. But you saw the turnover here early. UCLA's got a chance to take the football now.
They have it at the 32-yard line. Rick Neuheisel, the quarterback. The running backs are Kevin Nelson and Brian Wiley. Two tight ends. And Neuheisel comes out throwing. And hits his tight end, Paul Bergman, and a first down at the Bruin 45. Bergman, who caught 40 passes this year. He's the leading tight end receiver in UCLA history.
Number 94, Paul Bergman, is the money man. He's the man they go to when they want the sure yardage. Little quick run to the outside, breaks away from number 23, Vince Osby, and pulls down his first reception. You've got to believe a lot of emotion pumping on the field out there right now. They get the first couple of hits. They've got to be excited about being able to settle down now and get things in gear.
Gerard and Young, the two wide receivers, are to the left. From the 45-yard line, Neuheisel again. As a man, complete to Wiley. He's tackled at the Illinois 44, near a first down. Osby made the play, but Wiley out of the backfield. He's rarely used by Neuheisel. There's a wrinkle for the Illini to consider.
With quite a bit of time to prepare for this game, you put in some new wrinkles. This one's going to end up almost in your lap as you're watching from home. A toss over the top. Real finesse on that throw by Neuheisel, and a juggling act by Wiley as he pulled it in on the sideline.
Derek Cannello, freshman 23, replaces Wiley. A first down for UCLA. And flags are down. We haven't had a chance to really set up the strength of this Illinois defense, and we want to do it right now because in the middle, the two tackles, Don Thorpe, 96, Mark Butkus, 53, a famous name, Butkus. His uncle, of course, the Hall of Famer Dick Butkus, but Don Thorpe, his mate at tackle, was voted the most valuable player in the Big Ten. Tough to win that honor as a defensive tackle.
Certainly is, Dick, and the depth of this defense is right down the middle. The strength is right down the middle.
5 yards, still first down.
A chance to, that's Mike Johnson, number 85, leaping across, and it's a little soggy down there in a few places. Couldn't get back in time. They marched off 5 yards for offsides.
UCLA trying to capitalize on Don Rogers' interception on the opening series. Nelson's first carry. Kevin Nelson to the 35. And he bowls his way to the 25-yard line. The kid brother of the Minnesota Vikings, Darren Nelson. Kevin Nelson, all Pac-10.
Terry Donahue talks about the emergence of Nelson as the important part of the establishing of the running game for this team. You see him run right out of the grasp of number 23, Vince Osby. Tremendously quick and explosive. Gets a big play for UCLA right off the bat.
Well, the Bruins have come out. A 14-yard pass to Bergman, a 10-yard pass to Wiley, and a 14-yard run by Nelson. And a first down outside the Illini 25. Bergman, the intended target, he would have been out of bounds had he caught the ball, and it was well defended by the Illini's number 27, David Edwards. UCLA with Neuheisel, a walk-on freshman, and now a star with Wiley and Nelson, the running backs. The receivers, Sherrard, he had 44 catches to lead the club. Young, he's a junior. And Bergman, the veteran tight end, he had a big Rose Bowl game last year. The offensive line, Mann, Barron, Gordon, McCullough, and Love, and those two guards are going to have their hands full, Manning and McCullough, with those giant defensive tackles.
Handle those big defensive tackles, Dick.
Second down and 10. Nelson tripped up in the backfield by Thorpe, 96. So the All-American, who led the team in tackles for a loss and in sacks, makes his first big play.
The mark of this defense is pressure. They try and put as much pressure on you as they can, and one of their real pressure points is there, 96. You see him raising his hand in celebration.
Mike Johnson, defensive end, Thorpe, and Butkus are the tackles, and Darrell Thompson completes a 4-3 set. It's an unusual defense. You don't see many college teams using the old pro 4-3 set, but the Illini mighty successful with it. Of course, Mike White, their coach, comes out of some pro coaching experience. On a blitz, Neuheisel gets it away, and Andrews can't find the handle. Danny Andrews had a touchdown if he could have juggled that one into his grasp. But it was Darrell Thompson pressuring Neuheisel that perhaps forced the errant throw. John Lee will come in to try a field goal as you look at the linebackers for Illinois. Osby, Weingrad, and Bias. Haynes will also see duty. The defensive backs, Heaven and Taylor at the corners, Edwards and Swope at safety. Lee, a 43-yard attempt, Neuheisel to hold. Lee, a very successful placement kicker. But not this time. It's blocked. Comes down to the Illinois 4. That's Swope with it. To the 10. And tackled at the 15. He fumbles, and UCLA recovers. Steve Gemza, the offensive tackle, number 74.
Well, Dick, it didn't take long to see both exciting plays on the kicking game and turnovers. Blitzing from the outside is Sewell. Luke Sewell got a hand on that football, knocked it away, but then the worst possible thing happened. It looked like Swope was going to have a chance to get it back upfield a little bit, but he ended up dropping the football.
Here's Swope as that ball twisted down. That was a break for UCLA that it went that far downfield. And then Swope hit from behind. It was Howell, 97, Harper Howell, who forced the fumble, and Gemza recovered. So the Bruins wind up with a first down at the Illini 14. Frank Cephas running through a tackle with a 6-yard line. Number 4, Keith Taylor, dragged him down. He's just a freshman, the only freshman starter on either club, although the Bruins forced to use a freshman today, Batchkoff, because of the food poisoning suffered by Randall.
They love to get Cephas down in this short yardage, too. He has 5 touchdowns on the year. He is a powerful runner. UCLA alternating their tailbacks, keeping them fresh. Nelson is in there now.
They'll use Nelson, Cephas, and Andrew. They call that the zoom tight end. Howell. Nelson looking for the end zone. And denied, but he gets inside the 5 for what appears to be a first down.
Number 4, Keith Taylor. Just a big, big play over there. One-on-one. If you don't make that tackle, it's a UCLA touchdown. As it is, it'll be very short yardage. 2 good, strong running plays from UCLA.
Wiley goes out, and Derek Tennell,
what a freshman he is.
Isn't he? A freshman from West Covina, California, 225 pounds, is in at fullback. It's 3rd and inches for UCLA.
This is where you find out about a great defense, Dick.
They're going to go wide again. Nelson the other way, behind Tennell. And it appears he has the first down at the 3-yard line. A swarming defense led by middle backer Mike Weingrad, a senior from Columbus, Ohio.
We mentioned the strength of this defense is right up the middle. The 2 tackles, Weingard, and the 2 safeties. UCLA trying to get around the strength and attack at the outside. But they're getting good pressure out there. Archie Carter, 84, out there, along with Weingrad. Excellent play.
Thorpe comes out. 93 Steve Nelson replaces the All-American at left tackle. We don't know what that's about.
Going to keep an eye on him. He's gone to the bench.
First and goal, UCLA. Cephas comes in at tailback. Number 46. Played in last year's Rose Bowl game. Rushed for 46 yards. Again, Howell in motion. Fake. Throw wide open is Bergman for a touchdown. Neuheisel to the senior tight end Bergman.
Watch the fake here, leaping over the top. Cephas just froze the linebackers, and Paul Bergman again proves why he is the money back, the money receiver for the UCLA Bruins.
He in high school in Granada Hills in San Fernando Valley, his high school quarterback was none other than John Elway. He likes Neuheisel just as well, thank you. 6-0, try for point by Lee. And UCLA, on an unusual block field goal fumble, converts it into 7.
All of the emotion of this Rose Bowl and the early going will show here in a celebration of Paul Bergman.
And UCLA on the board first. Even by Southern California's best standards, a magnificent day. Clear skies, 84 degrees. The usual sellout, 103,000 plus in Pasadena's Rose Bowl. Potter will kick off after a short drive after the fumble recovery on the blocked field goal attempt. 3-yard pass to Bergman from Neuheisel. Potter to kick. Dwayne Pugh, number 18, the deep man for Illinois. Potter, a tremendous leg strength. Very few of his kickoffs have been returned this year. In fact, only 9 of 56. No one's going to do anything with that one. That's completely out of the end zone. About 74 yards in the air.
Dick, UCLA does something very interesting. They put a man back, and we'll watch him on one of the later kickoffs as he rushes up. But let's get to the lineups right now.
Jack Trudeau, the sophomore from the Bay Area. His offensive line, Schulte, Miller, Stowe, Babiar. He was an all Big Ten performer, and so is Juriga, sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois. They really like him at right tackle. First down, the Illini. Undefeated in Big Ten play. First time a club has gone through the complete round robin. 9-0. They beat everyone in the league. Trudeau, he loves to throw. Good poise, wide open. Complete to the tight end, Tim Brewster. And we have 2 excellent collegiate senior tight ends in Brewster of Illinois and Bergman of UCLA.
And we talked about Bergman being a money back. Tim Brewster is the same kind of receiver for this Illinois team. Watch him right there as he takes a short pass, makes it good for the first down. Trudeau has a special relationship with a receiver like that. He knows he'll get everything he can after he catches the football as well. And good hands.
First down, 10 yards plus on the play. Oh, a sack is 95 for UCLA. Mark Whalen shoots through and records the first sack of the game. And he's in the ball game because of the illness of David Randall.
Whalen in. I bet he was pumped when they finally said, hey, you're going to start. You're going to go in there and play. He blitzed in from the outside and made a tremendous play.
Well, they must have decided, Terry Donohue's staff, that rather than going with the freshman Batchkoff, they'd go with the sophomore Whalen.
They said they were oscillating. They were thinking Batchkoff initially, but Whalen was the choice.
Second down, 17. Screen. Good block. 30. And out to the 35-yard line goes fullback Thomas Rooks. 12 yards on the play. Delacono and Gasser made the tackle for UCLA. The Bruin defense reads this way. They use a three-man defensive front. And because of the illness to starter David Randall, he's out, and Whalen's in for him. Block the nose guard, and Chapin completes the front three. They're not very big by Big Ten and Pac-10 standards. Delacono, Taylor, Knowles, he's had a bad knee, and West, that's the key to the defense for UCLA today, Merlin. I want you to develop that. Oh, right in the arms of number 87, Randy Grant. And a good read by Trudeau. Sanchez, the left corner, was blitzing, so that area was wide open.
One of the things that Trudeau does best is to read the defenses and to call audibles. He did a good job on that play.
But on the drop by Grant, Illinois will have to give up the football. Chris Sigourney, senior from Elgin, Illinois, averaging just over 40 yards a punt. Lupe Sanchez is back for UCLA at the 25. Left-footed kicker. It's a good one. Sanchez at the 25. And surrounded, covered well by 4 Illini tacklers at the 22-yard line. Timeout. 8 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. UCLA by 7. The 1984 Rose Bowl game brought to you by the oldest of the bowl affairs, the granddaddy, the Rose Bowl. Illinois from the Big Ten, 10-1, 10 consecutive wins against UCLA. They staggered out of the gate against a tough schedule, 0-3-1, then rallied, won 6 of their last 7 to earn a chance to defend the Rose Bowl championship they won last year. And they lead 7-0, middle of the first quarter. Neuheisel, man wide open. It's Sherrod. And he's out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Mike Sherrod, he needs now only 2 more catches to set a UCLA single-season record. Cormac Carney had 46 catches last year.
We'll take a quick look at the defense now. You see the 4-man front. Now, these 2 linebackers very often will move up into the line, and you'll find them in these positions, and they'll go in and out. They'll either rush the quarterback from there, blitz to the inside, or drop back into coverage.
Might know that Don Thorpe is okay, Merlin.
He's in there now. Yes, he is.
Nelson on first down, and he runs into some heavy traffic. It's Thorpe, 96, Butkus, 53. They allowed an average to the opponents of 2.4 yards a rush. You don't win many games that way.
You don't. They were second in the nation with their rushing defense. And Max McCartney, who calls their defenses for them, talked about their philosophy. He said, we want to put every bit of pressure we can on the quarterback, emotionally as well as physically. Make him read the defenses, make him make the calls.
Second down and 9. Michael Young, he has his first catch. Junior from Visalia. An all-academic performer and an outstanding baseball player, an outfielder on the Bruin baseball team. 12 yards on the play. Mo Bias made the tackle.
Here are the 2 linebackers we talked about. Now watch them drop right at the ball is being snapped. They drop back into coverage. It doesn't do them any good, however. Mike Young, right at the top of your screen, right there, sliding in behind the linebackers. Boy, Neuheisel doing a great job of mixing with his receivers and the running plays.
It's a first down and a good hole for Danny Andrews, junior from Carson, California.
We shouldn't give Neuheisel all the credit. He's not calling the plays. They're coming from the sideline from Terry Donahue and Homer Smith, who's the resident offensive genius. But he's the man who's executing out there. And so far, the pressure that Illinois hoped to put on him has not damaged UCLA's offensive thrust.
Well, the Illini were hoping they'd take advantage of the one weakness Neuheisel has, and that is his lack of mobility. But he's been protected well, been able to search out the open target. Nelson cutting back inside to the 45-yard line. And again, the defense so tough inside. Clinton Hayes, Darrell Thompson filling the hole. You see Thorpe again as they unpiled a big number 96 from Arlington Heights, Illinois.
One of the other things that Illinois will do defensively, they stack the wide side of the field. They really invite you to run back into the short side of the field. And they said if UCLA can run the strong side, the wide side against us, we are really in trouble. You saw them try it there. They didn't go anywhere.
3rd down and 3 for Neuheisel, a native of Tempe, Arizona, home of the Fiesta Bowl. He's got a man open, but can't find him. Carl Burrell had a couple of steps on the cornerback heaven, but under pressure, Neuheisel couldn't quite get it around big Darrell Thompson, number 99.
And that's exactly what Illinois had hoped to do today, to put the pressure on the quarterback. One of the things that UCLA did not do well during the season was protect their quarterback. Been sacked a lot of times. They got there so quickly, he had no open receiver, had to throw that ball away.
Regular punter Kevin Bunife is out with food poisoning. Steve Bono, he did do some punting during the regular year. And of course, he gives Terry Donahue the threat of a possible pass or run, and he roots that one well. That's going into the end zone. So for the 3rd time on 3 different possessions, the Fighting Illini of Illinois will begin play from their own 20-yard line after a touchback. Timeout. 5 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Mountains off in the distance. You have to get a whole new book of adjectives to describe this day.
We had a little Santa Ana wind, blew all the smog and all the clouds away, and just left us with perfect football weather. And if you're a kicker or if you're a quarterback, you couldn't find a more glorious day to get the football in your hands.
Well, obviously, both these teams like to pass the ball, and they have perfect weather for that. Trudeau trailing 7-0. And he'll throw on 1st down, looking for Williams. And for the 2nd time in this first quarter, Trudeau's receivers fail him. Grant dropped an easy catch, and David Williams, the sophomore from here in Los Angeles, California, one of many Southern Californians, and many that Mike White recruited right out of Pasadena City College, so they're familiar with these surroundings. Williams, a native, unable to come up with that one.
I've got to believe that's emotion. He's just too pumped. He's got to settle down.
Beverly cutting back inside to the 25-yard line. Submarining low to make the tackle was Tommy Taylor from Chattanooga, Tennessee, number 42.
Tim Brewster, fine tight end, catching the football, not afraid to stick his nose in there and block as well. Right there, diving down, knocking Batchkoff's legs out from underneath him to spring Beverly loose into the secondary. Beverly's had some big days. They're hoping he'll have one today.
3rd and 5. Open and complete. 40 with a flag down to the 45-yard line goes Tim Brewster, the tight end. Now we'll check the penalty back at the 19-yard line. 18-yard play if it counts.
Looks like a holding penalty. In fact, the UCLA players waving it back already. A chance to look at it from the inside. 81 Tim Brewster, you just saw him blocking. Now you see him catching the football, bouncing off Delicano, number 39. Trudeau gets smashed on the play. They couldn't hold him out. That's Doug West, 41, blitzing in from the outside, but one of the linemen grabbed on.
Let's go back and talk about the linebackers for UCLA. You told us, and we didn't have a chance to share with our audience, about the key role they
got
play.
holding on the offense. Still 3rd down.
No question, they are the key. They are outmanned up front, and were before the sickness took Randall out of there. And that puts extra pressure on those linebackers. 2 of the best on the field today, West and Delicano. They really have a load on them, Dick.
They're the 2 outside backers. You saw West was blitzing on the last play. So 3rd and long now for Trudeau, and he goes right back. Look at the time. And finally throws it away. So excellent coverage by the deep backs for UCLA. Trudeau had 7-8 seconds to find a man open. There was none, and Don Rogers celebrates the defensive work of his teammates.
And there's the open man that he could not see. He's running on the right side, and that man, Tim Brewster, is all the way at the left sideline. And it is hard. He could not see him. He was too far away on the left side. He's looking down on the right side. Ordinarily sees most of the field.
Sigourney's second punt with Sanchez at the UCLA 45. End over end, drives it to the 40. And again, excellent coverage by the Illini. Downfield, number 61, Ed Brady, a middle linebacker.
Brady, the man who snapped that football on the punt, the first one down there.
A 46-yard kick late in the first quarter. The Bruins by 7. UCLA, Illinois played in the very first meeting between the Big Ten and Pac-10 champions. Big Ten, you'll recall, it's been an interesting history here, Merlin. Big Ten won 12, lost only once in the first 13. Then in the 60s, they split the 10 games 5-5. But since 1970, it's been the Pac-10 winning 12 and losing only 2. So they're only a game apart in that win-loss column.
And a chance to get even today.
UCLA victory would tie the series at 19. Bruins with the ball at their own 35. And they go up the middle. Now that was something we didn't expect much of, but you've got to keep those big tackles honest. They told us, the coaches and players, they knew they were in tough going against Butkus and Thorpe, but they had to keep them at home.
Dick, before that play, on every play, this Illinois team will flip-flop. They run their people back and forth defensively. Mike Heaven on that is always on the weak side. You see him right there. He's a safety man, actually a cornerback. You see how close he is to the line. They put a lot of pressure on you by keeping a lot of people up there tight. It almost looks like a gap 8 defense. Look how many people they have on the line there. And they're coming. It's a blitz again.
Second down 8. Neuheisel complete. Keith Taylor makes the tackle, but it appears to be close to another first down. Mike Young. Are they going to call? Yes, they do call it a legal catch. 9 yards on the play.
Now they flip-flop both the linebackers and the defensive secondary. They're going out to the strong or weak side, whichever it happens to be. We talked about the blitz coming on that play. That's what happens if you don't get to the quarterback. You're one-on-one against those receivers, and you better get to him and knock him down.
John, a teammate in high school of Lupe Sanchez, the cornerback of the Bruins. Neuheisel going for it all. He had his man beaten by a good stride and was just off the fingertips of Mike Sherrard. He inherits his speed from his mother, Sherry, who was a member of the U.S. Olympic team in 1964, a hurdler and sprinter.
Mike Heaven was on the weak side again, and that's the man they're working on. Does not have blinding speed. He's trying to stay with Sherrard here, and Sherrard just runs off and leaves him. Unfortunately, the ball had more speed than Sherrard, right off the fingertips.
Second down and 10. Neuheisel thought, ooh, ever so close. That's an interesting matchup. 2 walk-ons, Neuheisel and Sherrard. Out of the backfield, it's to the freshman fullback, Tennell, who rumbles to midfield, but that'll be short of a first down. Mo Bias, number 83, a senior from Los Angeles, made the tackle for Illinois.
Terry Donahue paid a lot of respect to this Illinois defense. He said one thing they have is great team speed, and you saw it there. There were 5 Illinois players over there in position to make that stop and make it for a relatively short gain. So 3rd and 10.
That's actually 3rd and 8.
Yeah, 3rd and 8.
Sherrard to the right. Durrell to the left. Under a blitz again. Thorpe, 96, followed 27, David Edwards, a safety man, got to Neuheisel first.
A few moments ago, you saw the blitz. They didn't get to Neuheisel. They don't expect to be able to get there every time. But getting to him on this play, knocking him down, forcing him to feel that blitz, that's putting the emotional pressure we talked about on the quarterback. There's the physical pressure we talked about. That's the kind of big play defense Illinois has been playing all year.
1:44 left in the first quarter. Don Passmore at the other end, as Bono just did get that one away. Passmore at his 23. And down at the 27-yard line. In case you joined us late, UCLA on a blocked field goal picked up by Craig Swope, returned, and he fumbled on the return. UCLA recovered, turned it into a 3-yard touchdown play. Neuheisel to Bergman. That's the story of this first quarter. To score early in this period. 15-yard penalty, but quick hitter. And the tackle made by Ron Pitts, number 47, on Randy Grant. Pitts the son of a famous running back, Elijah Pitts, who started with the Green Bay Packers. There are the scores earlier games today. Ohio State, you saw here on NBC, 28-23, won it on a pass in the final minute over Pittsburgh. And Georgia defeating formerly unbeaten Texas 10-9 in the Cotton Bowl. 2nd down and 8, only 2 yards on that last pass play. And again, it's the sophomore Trudeau to throw. Almost to the second man, Mitchell Brookins, number 33, and it could be that Brewster, who was the front receiver and going up for the catch, might have tipped it away from a teammate.
I think that's what it was, and I think Brookins was the intended receiver, but you can't fault Brewster. He sees the ball and figures it's his, goes up after it, leaps up, and I think shielded Brookins. Brookins couldn't see that ball as well as he should have. Watch it here as it comes over the top.
He
just
deflected
gave it a little tap, and that was enough to keep it from falling in the hands of Brookins. Brookins, by the way, has incredible speed. Talking to these coaches for Illinois, they said they have never seen a football player with his kind of speed. 4.3 officially in a 40, and one of the fastest men in a football uniform you may ever see.
He's still in the huddle, number 33. They converted him to a wide receiver from running back. And this is senior year. You see Terry Donahue, the 39-year-old head coach of the Bruins, chatting with the officials on the far side.
It's been a big year for Illinois, and you see the little marks on the helmets? Those are called Chiefs. You give those for a big play or a contribution to the team's success, and they've passed out a lot of them during this season.
Go 10-1 and ranked 4th in the nation. Those merit awards, symbols of individual outstanding play. Trudeau on 3rd and 8. Again, it's Brewster, the tight end, and he has a first down at the UCLA 40. Sanchez made the tackle, number 21.
Jim Brewster coming off the line. We said it earlier. He's the money receiver. One-on-one right there. A little bump. Gets inside. Makes the catch. Lupe Sanchez gets him, but he's got the first down.
At the end of the first quarter. From Pasadena, California, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WNBC-TV, New York.
Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. Welcome to the second quarter of this, the 70th Rose Bowl game. Illinois from the Big Ten, UCLA the Pacific 10, 7-0 Bruins. But the Illini are on the march to open the second quarter. They have the ball first down at the UCLA 41. Trudeau with an excellent fake. Wide open is Williams, 30, and he's out of bounds at the 27. Another Illini first down.
Up on the line of scrimmage, you get good play action fake, and you get people open. David Williams, number 1, just spinning off, and you see his very quick feet on that play. Rogers knocking him out, finally out of bounds, but a play action froze the defense, got the linebackers coming on the run, and just opened the territory for Williams, who'd come all the way across underneath.
Trudeau perhaps changing the play. He's 6 for 12 passing in the game, 55 yards, 1 interception. Overshoots his man Benson on the far side.
Benson might be happy he didn't get it there. Lupe Sanchez was coming up like a freight train wide open and would have leveled him.
There's Trudeau's statistics on the year, a +4 touchdowns over interceptions. He's only a sophomore. Mike White, long tradition at Cal and now at Illinois of recruiting outstanding throwing quarterbacks. You had Dave Wilson, now a star in the NFL, as well as Tony Eason with the Patriots, and the third man to come to Champaign-Urbana is Jack Trudeau, and he has 2 years after this one. Deep drop, and he may have thrown that one away, and wisely so. He threw it down at the ankles of Beverly, because Beverly was surrounded by Bruins. Had he caught the ball, it would have been a 5-yard loss. Kenny Page, 96, a senior from Colorado Springs, applied pressure. Skywriting.
Sky Typers up there today. They're working out.
Look at that blue.
UCLA blue, that's their color, isn't it, Dick?
Alan, light blue is also a color familiar to the Illinois players. We get a moment, we'll talk about that. It has to do with their psychological frame of mind. Big play, both sides, at the 27 of UCLA. To Williams. And he runs right into Don Rogers, and when Rogers hits you, you don't go very far. So 4th down. We'll see if we're going to Yes, Chris White, the son of Coach Mike White, the place kicker, and all Big Ten choice, 13 for 22 this year. Will try to get Illinois on the board. It'll be a 41-yard attempt. 84 degrees, the warmest January 2nd in the history of this area. 83 degrees in 1893.
You can't give the coach any flack for putting his son in when his son's an all Big Ten kicker, can you?
Not indeed. That's an interesting story, too. It's high enough, long enough, and right down the middle. 7-3 the score. Yards for Chris White, who never kicked a football until he was out of high school. He just fooling around trying to kick it. Fooling around 2 years. He's a star. And a second gone in the second quarter. Chris White has given Illinois its first points. It's 7-3 UCLA. On the far side, Danny Andrews, Carl Durrell on the near side as White kicks it off. A staggered setup for Illinois. Only 3 men to White's left and the rest of the team to the right. Good kick into the end zone. Durrell will take the 20-yard line on the touchback. You know, I think that college football kickers have become so outstanding that they ought to move them back to the 35. That just takes something out of the game when everyone kicks it out of the end zone.
Well, I think the field goal kickers, too, have grown to a point where they can stick it in almost anywhere, Dick.
Back again this year, the Goodyear blimp, Columbia, Captain Charles Russell from Downey, California. Nice to have him with us.
Dick, on a day like today with the air so dry, that ball tends to travel further anyway. You're liable to see some kickoffs all the way out of the end zone today.
Leading 7-3, Neuheisel setting his line. Oh, it's a passing game to Kevin Nelson. Near a first down, stopped just short of the 30. Number 63, Clinton Haynes from Gardena, California, linebacker, made the tackle.
Nelson, not only a fine ball carrier, but an excellent receiver. The personalities of these two teams seem to be much alike in the way they're approaching this game, preferring to throw the football, but mixing in the run. Neuheisel getting back, watching Nelson all the way, finally waiting for him to make his break, and then throws a zipper out there. Good play.
New backs behind him now, Cephas and Tunnell, with Howell in motion. Frank Cephas out to the 35-yard line, easily picking up the first down on 2nd and short. Mike Johnson, a senior from Chicago, Illinois, made the tackle, number 85.
We mentioned the strength of that defense is right up the middle, and the fact that UCLA would be trying to take advantage, getting to the outside. That's what they did with Nelson on that last play, breaking into the outside, throwing the ball away.
Yeah, the organization of the major football powers. Defensive players really don't see what's going on now. They're doing their homework, getting ready for their next appearance. First down play. And up the middle for about 4 yards goes Kevin Nelson.
One of the things you do defensively when you have a reputation for blitzing about half of the time is that you stick your people up there, force the audible, and then drop your people back into coverage. On that play, I think they were able to get Neuheisel to call an audible. David Edwards had come up close to the line of scrimmage. He simply dropped back. It went back to an ordinary coverage, ordinary protection on the inside, and were able to stop the play for a short gain.
Young to the left, Sherrard to the right.
There again, they faked it. Now they're coming.
On 2nd down, the quick hitch to Sherrard, and he gets nothing, maybe even a loss. Ed Brady, number 61, roaming to the sidelines from his middle backer position.
You see him shaking his head now. You know what he did there? The defense faked the blitz, then started to drop back, and then came with the blitz, and Neuheisel was trapped. He called the play.
There's the balance, rushing and passing. Illinois throwing even more than UCLA. It's complete to Young, and that'll be a first down at the Illinois. Check that, the UCLA 48-yard line. Young's 3rd catch, and it's good for 11 yards in front of Mike Heaven.
Neuheisel ended up on his back, but not until he'd unloaded a very accurate pass. And does not throw some of the deep balls as well as Trudeau, but is one of the most accurate passers in college football. Right there, he watches it for a little while until he gets dropped on the seat of his pants.
Ron bomb, and he did just that to the quarterback.
It was complete.
First down at the 49. 7-3 UCLA, 11 minutes remaining in the first half. It's a reverse to Durrell. He's got blockers now. 50, 40, 30-yard line. Carl Durrell, a sophomore from San Diego.
Dick, it looked for a minute like Durrell was going to be trapped in the backfield. Mike Johnson, 85, had gotten back in there, had good position on it. But Durrell just used his athletic quickness to get back around. Cephas handing off. Look at it right here. Johnson, number 85, looked like he had a chance. Excellent block. Was that the quarterback?
Neuheisel threw that key block.
Throwing a block on that particular.
And you're right. Had Neuheisel not done something you don't expect from a T-formation quarterback, throw a block on a defensive lineman, that play would have been spoiled. He sprung him for 20. Nelson in the clear. That's going to be a UCLA touchdown. Yards where Illinois doesn't expect it. Right up the middle.
They certainly went after the strength of the defense. They've been going outside, going outside. They came right back. They attacked the strength of the defense. They broke the play. What tremendous quickness in running from Kevin Nelson. Just exploded. Good block in the middle on Weingrad. No chance for him. A dive there. That was Mike Hartmeyer, number 63, for that block. Tremendous play.
Lee's extra point try is good.
The last man that had a chance, number 12, Craig Swope. Watch Swope there, just diving at the heels of Nelson. But once he's out, he's gone.
He's built like his brother, isn't he? 5'10 and a half, 196 pounds, 80-yard drive, 7 plays, the touchdown, 28 yards by Kevin Nelson. Kevin Nelson in his senior year, he awakened at mid-year, and with him, the Bruin offense. Hey, he's got good taste. In fact, consummate good taste.
Well, he also has a pretty good running style and put him in the end zone on that last play.
28 yards. It's 14-3 UCLA. Potter to kick off. Pugh at the goal line. See if Potter gets the distance this time. Not quite. At the goal line. Pugh, 15, breaks it into the clear. 40. He's got one to beat Potter, and the kicker lets him out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So Ken Potter needed those strong arms to deny Pugh a touchdown.
Wayne Pugh has been playing in that secondary. They're talking about moving him to linebacker next year. Has run as fast as a 4.4 in the 40. He's about 220 pounds. Can you imagine that kind of speed at linebacker?
44-yard return.
You got to look at it here. Kick returner's down, but he just exploded up the middle, and that's what you have to do to get a good run back.
On first down, again, Trudeau to throw. Chased out of the cup. And again, one through the fingertips, although that a much more difficult chance. And David Williams is looking back into the sun as he leaped high for the catch.
And sun is going to be a factor for them on this particular series, and they might be well advised to throw to the other side of the field, because Williams unable to handle that one. A high throw, too. He has dropped a couple that have been catchable earlier today.
Williams, he had an interesting comment about Don Rogers in that secondary. We'll bring you that in a moment. 4 rushes, 16 passes. So most of the attack through the air. And there's another one intercepted by Rogers. He can go all the way. Trudeau to beat. To the 10-yard line. The All-American second interception. Don Rogers of Sacramento, California.
Rogers, the co-MVP of last year's Rose Bowl. He's on his way to consideration again. Trudeau simply overthrew the pass. got it up over the head of his receiver. Rogers, reading the ball well, took advantage of the mistake and packs it down, gives UCLA's offense tremendous field position. Watch Rogers in isolation. He had to go high for the ball. The ball well over the head of David Williams, but not over the head of Don Rogers.
Trudeau did a good job of shielding the inside of the field, taking it away from Rogers, and waited for help. Now it's the Illini defense that has to dig in. Neuheisel. And for the first time, he is betrayed by a receiver, and normally reliable Paul Bergman was right in his midst. A flag is down. Rogers, his second interception in this first half.
This pass should have been caught for a touchdown. Might have been negated by the penalty anyway. Swope getting beat on that one. Just made a bad play. Taylor also over on the play.
Now the penalty.
Going to go against UCLA.
Yeah, the illegal use of hands on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15.
1st and 15. UCLA can make conceivably a first down without a touchdown, but they'd really have to try to do it because a first down would take the ball right at the 1-foot line.
Terry Donahue obviously has to be thrilled. He has had a lot of adversity, injuries in practice and food poisoning. They haven't had much adversity here in the first half.
Leading 14-3. Neuheisel looking for more, and he's got it.
White's concerns coming into this game was the speed of his secondary. Dick, UCLA's receivers have shown more quickness than Illinois' secondary, and they've been able to take advantage of them.
Neuheisel for Lee, and Lee has the extra point. Don Rogers, 2 interceptions, have directly and somewhat indirectly led to 2 quick Bruin scores, and they have a 21-3 advantage.
You see Durrell coming right into your screen across in front of Keith Taylor, number 4. And Durrell had just beaten him cleanly with a fine one-on-one move.
Only a sophomore from San Diego. He had 4 touchdown catches during the regular season. And we have a timeout. 10:23 left in the first half. Well, the roars that have emanated from that giant bowl have been primarily for UCLA. 21-3. The Bruins lead the Illini. Lyndon Crawford, who is a senior from Chicago for UCLA, he's the man farthest back on your left. He's their designated hitter.
He'll go right to the ball, Dick. They want him to get down there and force the play. He's not going to have a chance to do it on this play, as that ball just rolled right out of the end zone. Potter, I believe, had hurt his leg making the tackle on the last kickoff. Drilled that one low. He usually gets the ball fairly high.
That was such a key play by Potter, making that tackle, saving a possible kickoff return for a touchdown. Here's the recap. Bergman, a catch from Neuheisel, made it 7-0 in the first quarter. Then Chris White kicked a 41-yard field goal to make it 7-3. But UCLA back. Nelson, a 28-yard run up the middle to make it 14-3. And then after Rogers' second interception, Neuheisel to Durrell, 15 yards. Well, 16 now, they say officially. And it's 21-3. The Illini work to do. Trudeau to Brewster, and the tight end has a first down at the 31. Lee Knowles, 85, made the tackle for the Bruins.
Trudeau, a very calm youngster, and a lot of young quarterbacks throwing 2 interceptions like he has in this ball game would come back gun-shy. But Mike White believes in the passing game, and he happens to believe in Jack Trudeau. They come right back throwing the football.
He has 2 outstanding runners in Rooks and Beverly. Really hasn't used the run. Trudeau with a fake. Wide open is Brewster. 45, 50, and another Illini first down. Rogers made the tackle. One thing for certain, Trudeau, when his receivers catch the ball, they've been wide open. They've been able to move the ball.
We'd already talked about the importance of Brewster in the scheme of things. He's coming across the field. They love the crossing patterns. Nobody in the picture but the receiver. Well-designed pattern, good execution, and an obvious result of a first down.
At the 50-yard line, Brewster now with 4 catches, a total of 50 yards for the tight end. Here's a draw to Beverly. And he gets fumbles, and UCLA recovers. The hit was by Mark Whalen, number 95. And here's a man who wasn't supposed to play much today. And let's see if, yes, it is to UCLA. Joe Gasser recovered the ball, number 28, a sophomore safety man from Torrance, California, and everything going wrong for Mike White's Illini.
This is the kind of play you use to balance out against the passing game. You put the draws in there, but there's the shot right there. Whalen putting his helmet right on the football and just knocking it loose.
He's playing because David Randall has 4 turnovers to 0, and that, of course, the story of the first half. David Randall, food poisoning, disappointment, not being able to play today. Whalen replaces him. He's made 2 big defensive plays already. Brian Wiley, the fullback, down to the Illini 47-yard line. Ed Brady made the tackle. Well, Gasser made the fumble recovery, but Whalen's the one who created the play with his tackle. He also has a sack today.
It's got to be interesting to be told just before the game, hey, you're going to be playing today, and he's been sharing some time in there, but certainly getting his share of the mentions and then some.
2nd down and 5. Staying on the ground, it's Nelson. He's caught in the backfield by Mark Butkus, the senior from Lansing, Illinois.
You saw the quickness right there of Mark Butkus, and that's the kind of dominant defensive line play that Illinois has been able to use during the year to keep their opponents down. But UCLA has bounced right back and put it in the end zone against them.
Many have asked Mark about the influence of his famous uncle Dick Butkus. He said, no. Give the credit to my father. He's the one who really taught me the game and the love for the game. And occasionally Dick would say, attaboy. Open again, Sherrard, and a first down at the Illinois 38-yard line. Mike Heaven made the tackle. And for Sherrard, that ties the UCLA season record.
Sherrard getting down, getting a little opening, and pass thrown right on target. Sherrard has that fine, deep speed. He's one of the receivers that we talked about who's used his quickness to work in front of and behind these receivers. Mike Heaven, number 9, there to make the tackle. But you want to get those guys, get up in front of them, knock that ball away. You can't let them catch it, then tackle.
Oh, that looks like a blown play. Maybe not. Berkman to the 28-yard line near another first down. Let's talk about Rick Neuheisel. We all love the underdog. And here's a young man, a bright student, Tempe, Arizona. No one recruited him. He went to UCLA, went to Terry Donahue. Can I play? He said, well, you can try out. Freshman year just was around the scout team. Finally gave him a scholarship. He was a holder, waited for Tom Ramsey to graduate. He's a 5th-year senior, not because he's not academically strong, because he wanted to stay around for a chance to play as a senior. And here he's led his team into a Rose Bowl and set a UCLA record, 69% completion rate. What a story.
And he just picked up a first down. And you'll notice on the shoulders of those UCLA players, the roses. That's a special jersey for this game. You better believe that Rick Neuheisel will find a place for that jersey of his, and a special place for the memories of this game. If it continues the way it's going to be a special one for him.
Such a nice young man, too. We told him the other day after chatting with him, boy, you picked good parents. He's also got a lovely sister who was a cheerleader at University of Arizona. Danny Andrews fumbles, and that may be the break Illinois is looking for. It is.
Well, I guess Terry Donahue knew that the fumbles weren't always going to go his way. This one again, you see the blitzing coming right there. Ed Brady coming up the middle. He looked like he just reached across and slapped that ball away. A mad scramble for the football.
Curtis Clark, whose father, Leon Clark, was a great star at Southern California, played in the National Football League. He's from Pasadena. Curtis Clark on Weinbrad's tackle, and the Illini stopped UCLA. Right back. Vaulting forward for a couple of tough earned yards. Batchkoff, the freshman, making the tackle on Thomas Rooks. Clock shows 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Illinois trailing 21-3, and they've just stopped UCLA from perhaps putting this game out of touch.
They desperately need to get the ball down the field and into the end zone. Change their philosophy perhaps a little bit.
There's Trudeau loosening up the arm. The flag is down. And Trudeau, that's a lateral pass.
Yes, it is.
And
Still a play.
And Delacono makes the tackle finally, as everyone in a frozen motion waiting for the officials to blow the whistle. And finally Lee Knowles and Jeff Chafin made the tackle. That was a lateral pass.
There was a flag down already, and I think everyone saw it. But at the same time, when he throws this football behind, the ball is live. Everybody just kind of standing out there. Now the official did not blow the whistle. Brooks finally says, hey, maybe I better run with it. Delacono's up there in position. Hold him down.
Illegal use of hands on the part of the offense declined. Third down.
So the penalty against Illinois obviously declined, as Illinois will lose the down and yardage on that backward pass.
The pass is ruled to be backward.
Rick Neuheisel, he said if he can't make it in professional football, he's on to law school.
Formation that the Illinois offense likes to use is a 3 wide receiver formation. They put 2 of them out to one side. David Williams, the man in the slot, they like to get it to him if they can.
Third down and 14, and it appears Trudeau changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And down he goes at the 14-yard line. Kenny Page, a senior from Colorado Springs.
Tom Hayes and Bob Field coordinate the defense for the UCLA Bruins. They put a few wrinkles of their own in. Kenny Page had been hurt, not expected to play today. You see him working at the top of your screen. Right there, he just blitzes by Kehoe, Scott Kehoe, 56, and puts the reps on the quarterback.
Sigourney's kick, a wobbly boot towards Sanchez, takes an Illinois bounce across the 45 and will be down at the UCLA 43-yard line. Now at this stage of the 70th Rose Bowl encounter, UCLA in control, 21-3, 6 minutes left, first half. Kenny Page, they know where the cameras are, don't they? He showed a lot of speed for a 238-pounder in tracking down Trudeau. Illinois trailing 21-3. UCLA running against a team that allowed an average of only 2.4 yards per rush. The Bruins 5.3 average in this first half. That's part of the story of their success. Neuheisel, plenty of protection. And a short gain to Sherrard to the 45-yard line, a 2-yard pass, but that pass play will set a UCLA individual record. Mike Sherrard with 3 catches now today. That's 47 for the season, and breaks Cormac Carney's record of 46 set a year ago.
Chance to look back inside at the pursuit from the defensive line of the Illinois team, and look how they're stacked in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bodies on the line of scrimmage, and they get excellent pursuit from the inside for number 96 Thorpe, rolling out, finally gets past the Bergman, the tight end. He's driving from the outside, but they really made a fine play defensively there.
Kevin Nelson outside, and he's out of bounds at the UCLA 47-yard line. David Edwards, a senior from Decatur, Georgia. Make that a junior. Edwards, number 27, made the tackle.
Dick, in this 4-man defense, they put their defensive tackles off the ball and really kind of play them almost like linebackers. They're down a 4-point stance, a little bit like the Dallas Cowboys. Almost a flex kind of defense where they get people flowing, but they haven't been able to flow quite fast enough and hard enough to slow down this UCLA offense.
And they've got to dig in. The Bruins have a 21-3 lead with 5 minutes left in the half, and here's a critical 3rd down and 7. They're coming with a full blitz, and Neuheisel goes deep. Wide open is Young for another touchdown.
You saw Mike White say, we can't panic. We just got to go after them. We'd mentioned it early. When you blitz, you leave your defensive backs one-on-one. Number 4, Keith Taylor, trying to cover Mike Young one-on-one, and simply does not have the speed.
Maybe not the experience either. The only freshman back there.
He is a freshman back there, but it just looked like he couldn't keep up on the speed, and he's the fastest of those defensive backs.
Lee tacks on the extra point. Rick Neuheisel, flawless. You know, he had a great game against Washington when he went 25 for 27. That's an all-time NCAA record, nearly 93%. This is 9 for 9 for him and 53 yards for the touchdown.
Well, and he's one of the players that they were concerned about. Came down with some food poisoning. He'll have to go back to that same restaurant before every game he plays.
The whole club may go back for an encore. What a perfect throw and wide open. Durrell has a touchdown, and now Young with a score, and he's not the fastest of the Bruin receivers. Running score by Kevin Nelson. Neuheisel has thrown to his tight end Bergman and then to his wide receivers Young and Durrell. Only Sherrard has been kept off the scoring column. It's 28-3 as Potter talks with head coach Terry Donahue.
I think Potter hurt his leg earlier on the tackle. We've mentioned that, and it looks like John Lee will be kicking off here. No, it's not John Lee.
It's number 50 for the Bruins, who is not on the master sheet.
Well, they've got 105 players here, Dick. They literally have 105 players in uniform, some of them without shoulder pads.
Well, no one expected to use him.
We'll find out who he is.
You bet we will. In fact, we've called his attention to it. We've got 107 names on the list, but we don't have a number 50 for UCLA. Maybe changed the number at the last moment.
They have had to borrow some shoulder pads.
Well, this is his moment. He shows he's got a good leg. And again, Illinois will have to take it. It's Jeff Nowinski with a name not fitting that description on his back. Because on the back of his uniform, it's a different name.
It says Baton on the back of his uniform. Well, we'll find out. I don't think he expected to have a chance to take a bow on national TV today. Right now, Illinois with its back against the wall. Mike White has got to be shell-shocked on the sideline. He's got to get his offense moving here. They have not been able to take advantage of their #1 tool, the pass. In fact, it has become an enemy against them.
28-3 the score with 4:53 left, and now they go to the ground, and it's Rooks to the 26-yard line, a gain of 6 for a man who averaged almost 5.5 yards a carry throughout the Big Ten year. Only a sophomore, 215-pounder from St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, there you are on the sideline getting a little conversation about how you want to play the defense. That's the offense. They're the blockers right there. That's Duval Love with his back to us, in fact. Getting a little lecture on how they want to contain that defense, and it is a sophisticated defense.
2nd and 4 for Trudeau. And he completes one for a first down out to the 31-yard line to Scott Golden from Oriana, Illinois. A senior. Doug West made the tackle. First down, Illini. 4:10 left in the half.
Pitts coming from the outside again on the blitz. Late getting in there. Trudeau taking advantage. Getting the completion. Short reception and a first down.
Illinois was a favorite coming into the game. Mild favorite, but trails 28-3. Dumps it off to Rooks. He hit after a 2-yard gain by Lee Knowles. There was some question as to whether or not this junior, number 85, Knowles from Huntington Beach, California, would play today. Shaken up in practice during the week. Well, he was plenty healthy on that tackle.
Well, we have an identity. Steve Bate, backup quarterback, young man out of Torrance. He's just a sophomore. Now we've got him.
Wearing a number 50. You know that's not a quarterback number.
Well, they may have made that up special for him.
And again, the Illini foil. That's a loss as Knowles tackles Rooks at the 30. That's a loss of a couple. Make it a -4. And in comes the punting team for Illinois with 3 minutes left in the half.
No, we got another down, Dick. We got a third down here instead of a fourth.
All right, you're right. Third down, and
they're having enough trouble. Don't take it down away from them.
I apologize to Mike White, all the Illini. From a spread, Trudeau Going to be almost intercepted by Rogers again. No, that was Pitts, 47, closest to the ball. Delacono, 39, the linebacker from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was pressuring Trudeau.
Trudeau taking his time on this play. It's a simple three-man rush against him with one linebacker coming, Doug West on the outside. Trudeau getting away here, but I think he feels the pressure. Delacono coming inside. Good punt
by Sigourney to Sanchez back at the UCLA 25. And he's dragged down at the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Cam Benson of Illinois. A reminder coming up next. National championship at stake. Unbeaten Nebraska's Cornhuskers with their Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier against the number 4th ranked Miami Hurricanes, a great defensive football team. Howard Schnellenberger, 50th annual Orange Bowl. Of course, all the special activities at halftime to boot. Coming up right after our Rose Bowl coverage here on NBC. 31-yard line, UCLA leading 28-3. 9 in a row for Neuheisel. Stays on the ground, and Nelson picks up 4 and hammered at the 35-yard line by Mark Butkus. David Edwards there as well.
Kind of play that you had seen if you had been watching this team throughout the season. Number 96 Thorpe there, 85 Johnson. Thorpe spinning around, getting back inside. Lots of people on the football, but they've just been outmanned in the secondary here today.
They like to run behind that right tackle, Deval Love, number 67. He's their biggest blocker, 273. Cephas doesn't find anything to the other side. At the 37-yard line, Mark Butkus and Darrell Thompson make the tackle, and Mike White with a eye at the scoreboard. 1:40 left in the half.
Gosh, you've got to be reaching in the bag for miracles right now. Not only are you down by 25 points, but your defensive team is on the field, and you can't score with your defense on the field.
3rd down and 4. White, while he was at California in 6 tries, could not defeat UCLA. 0-6 against the Bruins. 2 of those defeats to Donahue. Neuheisel looking for 10 in a row. He's got it. And a first down at the 48. Durrell, the receiver. 11 yards on the play, and they're picking on the freshman Keith Taylor.
Really doing a great job. They've scared them so much with those deep shots that they're playing deep and laying back. And now Neuheisel is able to go against the short routes and just pick up the first down there very easily.
Neuheisel may be going after some Rose Bowl record, 10 consecutive completions. He'll have to go to the book. Inside handoff to Wiley, the fullback, and he gets only a yard or 2 to midfield with 50 seconds left in the half, and UCLA, figuring you can't get too many points, will call timeout.
Tackle on that particular play by Don Thorpe. They need more than just a tackle now. They need to cough the ball loose and try and get some points on the board. They really have been hammered in this first quarter, the first half.
So on this magnificent weather day in Pasadena, California, let's take a break from the action. A timeout. 50 seconds left before the intermission. UCLA Bruins 28. The Fighting Illini of the Big Ten 3.
The Pacific 10 Conference.
They're champions this year. The UCLA Bruins in football will salute the Big Ten in the second half. Neuheisel, a first down. Make that second down now at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 8. Nelson, the ball carrier. Checking the ball as he was hammered hard. That Edwards is a hitter, came up from safety, number 27, to support Mark Butkus. Clock running.
We're going to have Mark's uncle, Dick Butkus, here talking with us at halftime briefly. He's got to be a little bit disappointed. The last time the Illini team was here on this turf in the Rose Bowl, they were winners. And he was wearing one of the winners' rings.
1964. 20 years ago, the Illini waited a long time. Fumble on the snap, and UCLA calls on it with 13 seconds, 12 seconds, and apparently that will be the last play of this first half. No.
Thorpe looked to the sideline, said, do we want a timeout? Yes, we do, and they took it. Neuheisel did a good job. Dropped the football on the exchange, had to locate it, was able to get back and throw his body on top of it to protect it. Chance for you to look at it at home. Watch him just drop the snap here. I don't know whether he pulled away early or maybe got bumped, I guess, by one of the linemen. Looked like he just got bumped by someone's arm coming by. But you see him scrambling there and crawling on his hands and knees to get that football.
A lot of good family trees in this game. Illinois, Butkus with his uncle Dick, Chris White, of course, his dad, the coach of the Illini, Curtis Clark, who has had a big play on defense. His dad, Leon, an outstanding collegiate and NFL player. And UCLA even more in that department. Not bad idea to recruit the son of a famous football player, because they usually turn out pretty well, thank you. Butkus, of course, that name alone conjures up a solid defense, and he didn't make all Big Ten on name. Here's the UCLA lines. Elijah Pitts, the great runner with Green Bay. Kevin Nelson, his brother Darren, a #1 pick of the Vikings. Sherrard, we told you, his mother, a 1964 Olympian. But there's more. John Shinnick, a backup safety man. His dad, Don Shinnick, still holds the record in the NFL. Most interceptions by a linebacker, 37. Augie Donatelli, the umpire, that's his nephew, Doug Donatelli. Herb Welch, his dad, Herb, also played in the NFL. 7 seconds left. Steve Bono's punt to Passmore. No, Passmore had it taken right out of his hands by the up back Grant.
And that ends the first half.
A half that was all UCLA. But for a field goal by Chris White, it was the Bruins' Neuheisel, 3 touchdown passes, a run by Nelson for a score, and at the break, Bruins 28 off. And down 28-3. There should be no surprises for Terry Donahue's defense. Illinois has to do something. It's not an onside kick here. A short kick, however. Nelson. Oh, Durrell fumble, and UCLA, or is it Illinois? UCLA recovers, and that's the break that the Illini were looking for. It was bounding around, hit several players, but wound up in the grasp of a white jerseyed Bruin.
I'm sure that part of the conversation in the locker room, let's go out there and make something happen for our side. Durrell just had that ball knocked loose. I believe it was Kevin Nelson. Kevin Nelson, number 3, not number 8. It might have been Q, number 18, who had a shot at that football. You see him coming back. I think he's the one that made the hit.
UCLA has the ball at the 23-yard line. 28-3 lead. The Illini fans down to our left on their feet, rooting for the defense. Nelson can't get outside. He gains maybe 1. Don Thorpe. Look at the speed of that 250-pounder.
Well, I don't know what they talked about, but they came out with some fire in the second half. Let's see if it pays off for them. They need to get the football, and most importantly, they need to get some points on the board.
UCLA, as you well know, for the last 2 years, this has been their home field, moving from the Coliseum, and they've lost only once in the 2 years here in the Rose Bowl as a home team, more familiar with the surroundings. Neuheisel, 10 out of the last 10, intercepted and dropped. Mike Weingrad had it for a moment. Intended for Sherrard.
And you saw the coaches on the sideline saying, all right, here we go now. Making the kinds of plays they need to make. Weingrad doing a good job of getting a hand on this football. He wanted to keep it, but he just couldn't get the other hand on it before it bounced on the ground. That's 2 near turnovers. Both of them would have been so eagerly accepted by Illinois. Let's see if they give a third opportunity.
Third down, almost the full 10 for the first down. On the ground to Nelson. And he's hammered at the 25. And the Illini defense has the Illinois supporters excited. They'll get the ball after 3 downs.
Excellent penetration by 53 Mark Butkus on that play to turn it back inside. 4th and long, an opportunity to get one of those punt returners down the field with it. Whatever they do, they will have an opportunity here. Let's see what the offense can do with it now.
Don Passmore is back at the Illini 30 as Bono will punt. Ooh, he scuffs it. And Grant, fair catch at the 40-yard line. Randy Grant, the upback. So Illinois with good field position at the 40-yard line after a 35-yard punt.
An excellent decision by Randy Grant. Had that ball hit the ground, it looked like it would have rolled down toward the Illinois end zone.
Now the Illini fired up. Break huddle. Jack Trudeau, their quarterback.
I wonder whether they'll run a little bit more in this act, Dick.
They certainly did not do much of that the first 30 minutes. Nope. Back throwing. Escaping Trudeau. Complete Beverly. A gain of about 9.
Was the man that he faked the handoff to initially, and Trudeau had to do some gymnastics of his own to escape the rush on that play. Doug West was blitzing on the play, had his arms around Trudeau in the backfield, and he was able to get away and complete the pass.
Tommy Taylor with a tackle.
There's the shot right there. He just ducked underneath the arm. Jeff Chapin, the other man back there chasing him.
Second down, a long one. Beverly. He has a first down at the UCLA 47. Beverly from Los Angeles Locke High School migrated, as did so many of these Illinois players, back to the Midwest from Southern California.
Real California connection, and those California guys are happy to be back here in the warm sunshine and happy to be playing in the Rose Bowl. Unhappy to look up and see the score so one-sided. They'd like to do something about it.
Failed to score on their first possession. It certainly lifts spirits. Trudeau, good protection. Searching. Open down the middle, and another drop. Beverly is the guilty party this time. That score right on the money thrown by Trudeau that had been dropped by his receivers. No question about the strength of his arm, nor his accuracy. He's been on the money most of the day.
He certainly has some zippers that have been dropped on him, and this one should have been caught. An easy pass to catch. Beverly had all the time in the world. Goes down and kicks it away. Nobody even stepping down to look at him on that one. Delacono is the man who swept in from the outside and gave Trudeau something to think about on that play.
Second down, 10. Flag down before the snap. Five yards, illegal procedure against the Illini. There's the backup quarterback, Ken Cruz. And down the line, number 2, Chris Jenner, is the third-string quarterback.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure, offense.
Jenner signals in the plays. They're called by Mike White with the help of Bob Gambold upstairs, and they're signaling. They do a good job from both sidelines of getting those offensive plays in via signal to the quarterbacks.
After the 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 15 for Trudeau. Open is the tight end, Tim Brewster, who had an excellent first half. He's short of the first down, tackled at the Bruin 41-yard line. 11 yards on the play. Lee Knowles made the tackle.
Brewster asking to come out. Apparently hit pretty hard on that particular play. Scott Davis going in, but you see him wide open. Got the football. Takes a shot from Lee Knowles there. I think maybe just shook him up a little bit. Went to the sideline. We'll see more of him.
5 catches today for Brewster. Third down. Call it 5. Trudeau is sacked, and another big defensive play. It's Doug West, a senior from Del Mar, California.
When we talked about the linebackers for UCLA early, 2 that we talked about were Delacono and West. We said they had to come through with a big performance today. Well, they've both been mentioned a great deal, and West had gone over the top of Trudeau earlier. He did not miss him on that play.
Gurney just does get his kick away, and it's a good one. Sanchez, surprisingly, fields the ball and falls on the 3-yard line.
And that's the kind of thing that gives a coach gray hairs on the sideline. Had he let that one go, it would have gone all the way through the end zone.
Sanchez electing to field it, losing his footing, and then slipping down. The play's dead right there when that right knee hits the turf. A brilliant 54-yard punt. The Bruins are in the hole in terms of field position, but it's the Illini that are playing catch-up, down 28-3. 28-3, UCLA with 11 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Mike White talking with his quarterback, Jack Trudeau. White will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. Win or lose, it's going to be his 48th.
They haven't lost hope. You still see them plotting and scheming on the sideline. They need the football again quickly.
From the 3-yard line. And it's the fullback Wiley up the middle to about the 8, a gain of 5 in the grasp of Darrell Thompson, number 99.
Real battle. Duval Love, number 67. They're really in a dogfight down there. He's going up against, who is it, 92? That's Curtis Clark, hometown boy, trying to get a little bit of work on his own there. Stacking up Love. He still made a few yards, got a little breathing room out to about the 9-yard line.
Love, just a junior, 6'3" and 273. From Frank Cephas's view, number 46. He gets the ball. And he's close to, and does have, a first down at the 15-yard line. Mo Bias made the tackle. So UCLA showing now by opening up the game with a pass and those sweeps early, Merlin. Now they're going inside.
Duval Love, right in the middle of your screen. You saw him getting submarined on the last play. A chance now as he slides inside, beats the count slightly, cuts Curtis Clark off, leaves Curtis Clark, and goes in to help on Don Thorpe. Thorpe getting driven out on that particular play. That's Chris Yelich, number 66, senior tri-captain. Boy, I'll tell you, he's quite a story, Dick.
He is. Didn't get to play in last year's Rose Bowl. Fullback is surrounded. Derek Tennell. No gain. You look at Mark Butkus on the sidelines working on that arm. Don Thorpe led the defensive charge of the Illini. Let's talk about Yelich a moment, number 66 of UCLA. He broke an ankle in the USC game, final game of the year, a year ago. So he was denied the Rose Bowl and then just didn't recover this year. Kept swelling up on him. Really didn't play much all season long. Finally got himself, now as a senior, himself ready, wearing number 66. And now, what an assignment, working against Thorpe or Butkus as a guard. Yelich from LaPorte, Indiana. Neuheisel has the man. Burrell open and a first down at the 27.
Accuracy is the name of the game. Neuheisel under pressure had to get rid of that ball. Threw before the receiver even turned back to look, but got it right on target. Carl Durrell turning around, finding the ball there, did what he was supposed to do. He caught it.
Boy, it's a well-conceived game plan by Terry Donahue.
Well, I give a little credit to Homer Smith, too, the resident genius.
He should be a head coach. He was the former head man at Army. He's been an assistant with Donahue. Oh, what a lick by number 94. And a flag goes down. Ron Baum gets Nelson and maybe got him too high. No, the signal is holding against UCLA.
Now that's the 10-yard penalty. That marks it back. I don't think there's any question about whether they're going to forego the penalty. They'll take it back to the previous spot, mark off the 10 yards.
That'll take it inside the 20-yard line.
Holding on the offense. Still first down.
The Illini adopted that child apparently for this Rose Bowl game. Yeah, UCLA.
They got a bigger mascot today, don't they? Maybe they little higher profile at the moment.
Neuheisel on 1st and 20. Little safety valve over the middle to Nelson, and he's hit at the 25. Boy, Neuheisel went down as he delivered the ball. 9 yards on the play. Archie Carter made the defensive play for Illinois.
We don't think about the kind of shots that quarterbacks take after the throw, but watch Neuheisel here. Gets the ball off, and now is just leveled. Darrell Thompson, number 99, knocking him down. He's able to look up and see the completion. That's the payoff for him, but he does take some abuse on that play.
Number 24, Danny Andrews, replaces Kevin Nelson at running back. 2nd and 11. Oh, Neuheisel doing a good job of freeing himself and throwing long for Young. Mike Young all the way to the 32-yard line. Beat Keith Taylor, the rookie cornerback.
Mark Butkus had left the field with a hyperextended elbow, came back in, missed the tackle as he got in on Neuheisel. Neuheisel able to slip away from him, and you got to wonder if maybe that elbow isn't bothering him. And Mark Young, just taking advantage of the time Neuheisel got by scrambling, is making it an even longer afternoon for Keith Taylor. Taylor not getting down deep on the play, and I think you hit it right earlier. Just inexperienced, Dick. The freshman not ready for that kind of contact on a day like today.
Well, Neuheisel hit Young 53 yards for a touchdown in the second quarter. Got 44 more on that throw. And suddenly Bruins, who started at their 3, are at the Illinois 32. And Cephas with a huge hole is all the way to the 13. Dwayne Pugh saved the touchdown, 19 yards for the senior from Newark, Delaware, Frank Cephas.
In a gambling defensive scheme, you hope that the big plays offset the plays that go against you. This is one of the big plays that goes against you. Thorpe had stunted to the outside. Linebacker stunted to the inside. Frank Cephas said, hey, I'll take advantage of that hole. They finally get him down. He's all the way inside the 15.
19-yard run. Nelson. Half the Illinois team making the stop after a gain of 3 or 4.
Well, it has to be so disheartening for a defense. They've made some big plays at the other end of the field, and yet here's UCLA right back knocking again, looking at another potential score. And how do you stop that? That's just tremendous acceleration, tremendous offensive performance.
9th play of this drive, and of course consuming the clock. You saw Mike White. He knows the score. He's watching that electronic monster chew away time that he needs to play catch up. Flag down as Frank Cephas plowing up the middle for 2 or 3 yards. Might have had an early start by one of the UCLA players. It is a legal motion. Let's introduce the officials. A bit late, but we want to give them credit. It's quite an honor for them to be selected from the 2 conferences. John Nealon, the referee, Walt Wolf, Richard Weiler, Larry Nemmers, Gaylord Bryan, Harvey Jones, and Tom Herbert working this game today.
They've done a good job of keeping this game under control, too. Emotional. You saw a couple of the players breaking loose early, a little bit of emotion, but they've done a good job of taking care of things.
There they are. It means a lot to them to be selected to work this famed Rose Bowl game. Richard Weiler, a double duty man. He's been in the Rose Bowl and also worked an NCAA championship or 2 in basketball. Second down and 12 for Neuheisel. Going deep for Bergman. Touchdown. No, he was out of bounds, they say. Did not get the foot down. You need only 1 foot down, of course, in the collegiate game. He was very close, but the official right on the spot saying, nope.
Rick Neuheisel picks himself up off the ground. I think he had sensed the potential there for a touchdown. Took every possible second he could take. Got the ball out there, and watch how close he comes to a touchdown here. Swope beaten in the corner of the end zone, but that foot just, here's a place to see it. Watch the feet now. Needs 1 foot only in bounds. Hard to tell. Looked like it might have been on the line. It's got to be in bounds.
Third down and 12 from the 15. UCLA looking for more. Good protection. Open again. That's a touchdown. Durrell, his second of the game. And 4th by Neuheisel.
And perhaps Terry Donahue is asking himself why he waited so long to give Neuheisel a chance to play. On the other sideline, Mike White absolutely stunned. I think perhaps the most disappointment on the field right now, number 4, Keith Taylor. They got him again. 7 points. Neuheisel, does he know it's a touchdown? Watch him. He knew all the way.
He doesn't know that he's just put his name in the Rose Bowl record book. Lee kicks the extra point. That's the 4th touchdown pass by Neuheisel. That ties Pete Beathard, University of Southern California, against Wisconsin in that high-scoring game back in 1963. Neuheisel joins Beathard. It's 35-3. UCLA. Shifts as a junior and senior in Tempe, Arizona. 4 touchdown passes. We'll hear his feelings about being in this Rose Bowl after a non-recruit, a walk-on at UCLA. Trudeau off some play action. Out to Rooks, who's tackled short of the first down. Rick Neuheisel, it's been his day. It's been a great year for him. One of the top 10 passers in the country. And he looked and anticipated and enjoyed this thrill of playing in Pasadena.
One more time.
I decided to come to UCLA. This was always the dream that I had. And now that it's realized, it's just something that is still hard for me to believe. But when I run onto the field and see the rows on the 50-yard line, it'll hit me.
Well, he has seen that Rose on the field. It's not only hit him, he's hit Illinois.
I was going to say, he's hit those receivers, and he's hit them in the end zone. And the team that we had expected to see passing so successfully today, Illinois, has not been able to do it. Neuheisel and the Bruins, and not to say that they were not expected to pass. They're a passing team, too. But they have indeed stolen all the honors today. They have put the results on the scoreboard with a lead 35-3.
Illinois looking for first down yardage and picked up just enough from Thomas Rooks. But that kind of play is almost a moral victory for the UCLA defense, as the clock, as soon as they mark the first down, will start again, and there's under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Dick, as you get into this point of the game, you almost begin to play for a little pride. Illinois needing some points on the board. They don't like the lopsided edge they see when they look up.
For 92, Frank Batchkoff, a freshman from Reseda, California, into the lineup now for UCLA. Trudeau off some play action, guns the ball to Williams. And David Williams has what appears to be a first down out at the 41-yard line. 10 yards in the play. Until this series, UCLA almost 4-1 in offense, over 400 yards for the Bruins, just over 100 yards for Illinois. And Steve Bono, who was the regular quarterback, Neuheisel was benched in the middle of the season after that rough start. Bono took over, had a big game, and then he was injured a shoulder, and he has not returned since. He's from Tommy Lasorda, the Dodgers manager's home base, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Old friend of ours, Ben Agajanian, one of the kicking legends of the NFL there on this sideline. He does some work with UCLA, giving Bono a pat on the back. We've seen Bono as a punter, of course, today.
First down for the Illini, but they trailed 35-3 late in the third quarter. Trudeau extricates himself and almost gets it to Beverly. A good effort by Trudeau, who little extracurricular activity as Frank Batchkoff had him on the ground, and Trudeau wanted to get up.
Well, that's the first time we've seen some emotion out of Trudeau today. He's really a cool customer. In fact, Bobby Gamble, who works with him, said, I wish he would lose his cool a little bit more at times. I think sometimes he's too controlled. But this is a situation where he finally does. Scrambles, gets away from one, gets away from a second, goes to the ground here. Oh, he didn't like that right at the end. No, I don't blame him. Now, he got even, though. He got an elbow back in there.
Batchkoff said, who, me? Intercepted, yes. Joe Gasser picked it right off his shoe tops at the Illinois 45, and the Bruins had their third interception of the game.
What a painful afternoon. It all comes down on your shoulders, playing a leveraged offense. Trying to live by the pass virtually by itself, and they have paid the price with interceptions today.
And I believe we'll have a new UCLA quarterback when we return to the Rose Bowl. 4 minutes left, third quarter. Side, but with a creative turn to the outside, able to turn that one up for 4 or 5 yards. Ed Brady made